This incident happened just Saturday. The family is extremely raw. The community is extremely raw, and they're demanding transparency. And we, on behalf of the family, are demanding action. Action from the Box Springs Police Department, action from the Dallas County District Attorney's Office, and change. We are declaring war on bad policing. This has happened far too often. We are tired of making the same rhetorical demands, of having the same hashtags. Our community is fed up with the same tired excuses once again offered by Box Springs Police Department yesterday, that this was somehow the fault of the victims, teenage kids with no criminal records, with no motive to attempt to hurt anyone, with no evidence that they ever attempted to hurt anyone, to insinuate that there was some sort of bad acts on their part that caused an officer to shoot multiple rounds into a vehicle occupied by 5 teenagers. There will be no justification. And this will not be a temporary stand on behalf of the community. This will not be a temporary stand on behalf of the family, but we are demanding justice in this case and a change to policing in America. America, throughout the country, must figure out a way to police its citizens without killing them. It's not something unreasonable for this family to ask. It's not something unreasonable for the black community to ask. To simply police our communities, to respond to nonviolent, non-life-threatening, mundane police calls without resort to brutal force, without the unnecessary loss of innocent life. That is our stand on this case, and that is our stand moving forward.
15-year-old Jordan Edwards was fatally shot by a police officer in a Dallas suburb Saturday night. Now his death has been ruled a homicide. The Dallas County Medical Examiner says he was shot in the head by a rifle. But there are conflicting accounts of what happened. Balch Springs police say officers heard gunshots after responding to a call of drunken teenagers.
While officers were out at the location, they heard gunfire. There was an unknown altercation with the vehicle backing down the road towards officers in an aggressive manner. An officer shot at the vehicle, striking a front seat passenger.
But Edwards' family lawyer says the car with 5 teenagers inside was not being driven aggressively.
They were simply leaving a party where they believed danger was, and so I can't wrap my mind around why an officer decided to shoot into the car.
Merritt says the family wants the police officer arrested. So far, the officer has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation unfolds. After receiving threats through social media, police are calling for calm.
Family of a 15-year-old boy demanding answers from the Balch Springs police. The teen died after an officer shot him in the head. It happened overnight as the group of teens left a party. We have Gabriel Rojas looking into the investigation for you tonight.
Dan, the Dallas County Sheriff's Department will take the lead in the investigation into this shooting that has left this community stunned. Police addressed a packed room full of people who knew 15-year-old Jordan Edwards since he was a young boy. Chris Cano is one of several of his former coaches who showed up looking for an explanation as to how the beloved teen could end up killed by a police officer.
I didn't want to believe it. It was a nightmare. I don't know how to tell my son.
Friends remember Edwards as a great athlete and respectful young man.
Best running back I ever played with. Yeah, I'll never forget him.
Police responded to a call about a crowd of drunk kids causing problems at a house party on Barron Drive.
At least 100. I mean, they were all over the place. Backyard was full, front yard was full, and I guess the house was full too.
Keith Roberts says at some point after officers arrived, he heard gunshots, which sent the crowd running. Attorney Lee Merritt represents Edwards' family. He says the teen and his friends heard the shots and jumped in their car to get away from them.
They were simply leaving a party where they believed danger was, and so I can't wrap my mind around why an officer decided to shoot into the car.
While officers were out at the location, they heard gunfire. There was an unknown altercation with the vehicle backing down the road towards officers in an aggressive manner. An officer shot at the vehicle, striking a front seat passenger.
Those close to Edwards and his family say they'll remember the young man as full of promise.
I still can't believe it. I want to see his smile again.
The police chief here tells me that the officer who fired the shots is on administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. I did speak briefly with the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. A spokesperson there tells me they plan to have a public comment on this case tomorrow. We're live in Balk Springs. Gabriel Rojas, CBS 11 News.
Texas cop kills unarmed 15-year boy in questionable shooting. A Texas cop shot and killed a 15-year-old boy named Jordan Edwards Saturday night, claiming the boy was inside a car that was driving in an aggressive manner towards another officer. But that's the same old excuse police always use when they shoot into moving cars, an overused cop cliché that has been proven false many times by video evidence. And it will likely be proven false here once the Balch Springs Police Department release body and dashcam videos from the incident that took place around 11 p.m. in a suburb outside Dallas. How do we know? For starters, the gunshot that struck Jordan Edwards in the head as he was sitting in the passenger seat did nothing to stop the car. In fact, it was not until the driver of the car, the boy's older brother, noticed smoke coming from his brother's head after driving another block that he realized something was wrong, according to an attorney for the family. The brother then stopped the car and flagged down an officer, civil rights attorney Lee Merritt told the Washington Post. When was the last time you've seen a fleeing suspect stop his car and flag down a cop for help? But this is how the Balch Springs Police Department justified the shooting. There was an unknown altercation with a vehicle backing down the street towards the officers in an aggressive manner. An officer shot at the vehicle, striking the front seat passenger. So even the cops admit they had no clue what was going on, referring to it as an unknown altercation. And even the cops do not dispute the attorney's claim that the boy's brother flagged down an officer. Had the cops truly believed the car was a danger to officers, they would have continued shooting the car until it came to a complete stop, or at least ordered everybody out at gunpoint with the usual yelling and threatening. Balch Springs police have yet to release the name of the officer, but said he used a rifle to shoot at the car after they responded to a 911 call about underage kids drinking outside of a house party. Police say they heard gunfire after arriving at the scene, but have not said anything about arresting anybody for shooting guns, so for all we know, it was just a car backfiring. But Merritt also said the teens heard gunshots, which is why they decided to leave the party, according to the Washington Post. In a phone interview with the Washington Post on Sunday night, Merritt said Jordan, his 16-year-old brother and 3 other teen boys were at a party on Barron Drive when they learned that police were on the way. They went to the car parked outside and saw flashlights and heard gunshots, Merritt said. As they climbed into the car, the teens apparently heard somebody yell profanities. Then they were being fired upon. They fled for about a block, Merritt said, before they noticed there was smoke coming from Jordan's head. The driver of the car, the boy's older brother, stopped the car and they flagged down an approaching police cruiser for help. Several of the teens played on the football team together. Jordan was going through spring training for next year's season. They're never going to be the same, Merritt said. These kids are never going to be the same. Although police were responding to a call about teens drinking, neither Edwards, his brother, or the 3 other teens had been drinking, the attorney said. Neither were not cited for drinking or any other crimes. Federal guidelines recommend against cops shooting into moving cars because it's too risky to strike an innocent party, but the practice continues because cops know they can get away with it by claiming they were in fear for their lives. Let's not forget the case of Samantha Ramsey, the 19-year-old Kentucky girl who was shot and killed by a deputy while trying to leave a party in 2014. Boone County Sheriff's Deputy Tyler Brockman gave the same old spiel about fearing for his life, claiming the car was headed directly towards him. But dashcam video shows he placed himself in front of her car as she drove away, eventually jumping on her hood and opening fire, later claiming he was holding on to dear life as she sped down the road. A grand jury cleared Brockman for that killing in 2014 despite the video evidence proving he was out of harm's way before he opened fire. However, Boone County ended up settling with the family for $3.5 million in December 2016. The Balch Springs Police Department says every patrol car is equipped with a dash cam and every officer is equipped with a body cam. And they have yet to claim the cameras were not operating at the time of the shooting, which is another common lie. So hopefully it won't be long until we can see through their lies. Read the full press release below.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.